God kväll och välkomna till invigningen av den 18:e Fantastisk filmfestival. Nu kan vi äntligen dricka öl, vilket jag hoppas att ni gjorde där ute också. Nu är det så här att vi har en hel del internationella gäster i publiken och kanske en och annan utbytesstudent. Så att vi kommer att göra det här på engelska. So, I am changing the language to English. Welcome to the 18th edition of Lund International Fantastic Film Festival. It is wonderful to have you all here. Before we see the film, and before we do some other things, I would like to say a few words about what we do here in Lund and why. And I would like to talk a little bit about fantastic films. Because film is first and foremost a dream. It is pure fantasy from the moment the shutter opens until the last reel has rolled through the camera, or nowadays when you run out of battery. Film is not in any way a true representation of reality. As Jean-Luc Godard once said, there is no such thing as a just image. It is just an image. Film can never be objective, only subjective, and thus colored by the mind and the dreams that made that image up. And ever since 1895, humans have tried to capture the moment with cinematography. Those early years saw an immediate split in styles, a crossroads to what kind of film we wanted to make. There was the supposedly realistic style of Lumière, who portrayed trains coming in at stations, workers leaving factories, and such. And on the other side, we had the magic tricks of Georges Méliès, who set the foundation and pushed the boundaries of what filmmaking could achieve in the future. And fantastic films were born. Through the 20th century, the greatest masters of film have continued in the tradition of Méliès. It began with the masterful expressionistic outings of Germany, Metropolis, Dr. Caligari's Cabinet, etc. Then we saw the French Impressionists of the 20s. And the golden era of Swedish film started with a fantasy horror film called The Phantom Carriage. And on it went into cinematic modernism. Kurosawa, Fellini, Greenaway, Kubrick, Truffaut, Godard, Tarkovsky, Lynch, Mitsuguchi, Maya Deren, Orson Welles, Dario Argento, Hitchcock, and George A. Romero. All made films of the fantastic. And whoever thinks of our own master, Bergman, as a creator of realistic dramas, think again. Or does it often happen to you that you play chess with death? The non-realist fantastic film is like abstractions and impressions in art. It is the pillar that modernism stands on. What would 20th century artistic modernism be without transforming the image of the real into a dreamlike fantasy image? And in the wake of all this, it strikes me as perfectly strange that the word fantastic, or genre film, which is the Swedish not so good equivalent, has been pushed back and frowned upon here in Sweden ever since film was born. Why does, for example, the director of Let the Right One In say about his truly horrific masterpiece that it is absolutely not a genre film? Because if he said so, he would not get funding. It would just have been another low-brow genre film, not art. Amazingly enough, this is just a purely Swedish phenomenon. Outside of Sweden, they make genre films by the numbers, and they are very proud of it. And when you add to all this talk about art, the very fact that the major box office hits all around the world every year are almost exclusively fantastic genre films. One really wonders, why can't we, the Swedes, understand that genre film obviously equals money in the bank and, as we have seen through film history, high artistic quality. The beauty of cinema fantastique is to be found in its democracy, because it can obviously be art house and a full house at the same time. It is the marriage between Amy Heckerling's and Carl Theodor Dreyer's vampires. The Lund International Fantastic Film Festival is not only the leading, but also the biggest organization and the only organization in the Nordic countries for the promotion of fantastic films. It lies upon our shoulders to make sure that film that stretches the boundaries of our imagination gets the same attention as those social realist dramas that we tend to encourage here in Sweden, year after year. Okay, that's definitely enough talk, serious talk about art for one evening, I guess. So let's hear it for someone who will most definitely not talk about art. The owner of 1,000 comic books, the person who worked more office hours than all of us combined, our dearly beloved festival director, Johan Baranda.
Thank you, Lars, for those wonderful words. I think I paid attention to half of it, then I fell asleep. I'm just kidding. First off, I want to dedicate this opening ceremony to one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. This opening ceremony is dedicated to the memory of Tony Scott. A truly fantastic filmmaker in all rights of the word. 18. We're all grown up and we got our own beer. And that's cool by me. I'm so glad to see so many of you. I'm so glad to see so many filmmakers and people in the industry, and especially all you regular folk who paid for your ticket. You're my favorite people. But we wouldn't be here without the help of some wonderful, wonderful people and companies. I just want to take some time to say thank you. And I'm gonna just raffle up some names and companies and stuff now. And please pay attention, because these people make this festival work. So first up, Kultur I Lund. And Torsten is here, I believe. Torsten left, okay. Well, he was here before. And we love Torsten. Film I Skåne. Folkuniversitetet. Färs och Frosta Sparbank. Folkets Bio. Hotell Concordia. Lundabryggeriet, vars öl ni har druckit där ute. And hopefully not in here, because it's not allowed, and Patrick will kick your ass. And the European Federation for Fantastic Film Festivals. And I'm gonna thank another institute later on. But I just want to talk a little bit about this year's festival before we get to the main event. The program we have for you this year is probably the best one ever. And I'm not just saying that. It really is one of the best ones ever. It's really diverse. It's got everything. It's got like children's movies about a bear and a mouse. It's got a film about a man-borg. And if you want to see something truly spectacular, you really should buy tickets to the man-borg screening. It's the last film we screen at this year's festival. And I can promise you something that you'll never see again and that you'll never seen before. So get your tickets to the man-borg screening. And of course, I wouldn't be the comic geek that I am if I wasn't to mention Dredd. Seriously, Dredd. Not the Sylvester Stallone bullshit with the taking off the helmet and stuff. Carl Urban keeps the helmet on. Who's booing? It's probably Ariane. But yeah, and we got 2 competition series as well. We got our own international competition, the Siren, and we got the Melier Dodgen competition for our contribution to the best European fantastic film of 2012. And the competition lineups are really, really strong this year. So I really think you should go for the competition films. I know you guys are antsy to see the film, and we still got somewhat a lot of talking still to do. So I'm going to get to the last thank you of the evening. And the last thank you of the evening I want to do together with Lars. So here's Lars again.
You'll do it.
Yes. We are extremely proud, happy about the fact that...
Honored?
Honored that as well, yeah.
Glad?
Glad, ecstatic, doing little twirls in our ballerina suits in the office. About the fact that the CEO of the Swedish Film Institute is in this very building right now. Yeah, really, seriously. So we want to say a big, big thank you to the Swedish Film Institute, and we want to bring up to the stage the CEO of the Swedish Film Institute, Anna Särner.